I call the June 29, 2015 special council meeting to order. Flag salute. Carol, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Silent roll call has been taken and a quorum is present.
Okay, there are no minutes. Petitions, communications, citizens' requests. At this time, is there anyone from the audience that would like to discuss an item that is not on the agenda? Okay. Moving on. Reports. I have nothing. Standing committees. Any committee meetings from anybody? City councilors. Nothing? Okay, city attorney, special committee, school board liaison, city manager.
Just a couple quick updates. Household hazardous waste was very successful this weekend at about 263 households that participated in that. That amounted to 2 tractor trailer loads full of old paint, aerosol cans, etc., and 1 tractor trailer full of electronic waste.
Wow.
And just a reminder, the draft downtown revitalization plan meeting is tomorrow night at 6:30 at the library.
Oh, they moved it to 6:30?
6:30.
Okay, so I thought it was at 6. I thought we were nervous about trying to make that. Okay.
That's it for me.
Okay. Any questions for Bill? Consent agenda. Public hearings. The Old Town City Council will conduct a public hearing on the proposed FY 2015-2016 municipal, county, and school budget. The proposed budget calls for city expenditures of $10,246,861, Penobscot County taxes of $614,680, and RSU number 34 taxes of $5,585,052 for a total city, county, and RSU 34 budget of $16,446,593 with total city revenue of $6,233,665 and anticipated transfers from reserve accounts of $470,000 for a net property tax requirement of $9,742,928. I'll open the public hearing. I'll ask for people from the public first. If you want to comment or ask questions, then I'll turn it over to the council. Anybody with any questions, just come up to the podium. No one? Okay, council. Any questions on this? I believe Bill sent everything out.
Yeah, the only thing that's, as far as looking at this, I'd sent out on Friday, and I made a copy of it, put it in your packet, which is just the final mill rate calculation, which basically breaks down all those numbers that.
Is that page 3? I think it's page 3. So the mill rate is 2116, and the percent increase is 4.7%.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, and kind of reviewing what we talked about on the June 17th meeting, it appears I didn't get to see the 5 o'clock news. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure the governor vetoed the budget. Legislature has full intentions of going back in tomorrow and overriding his budget. His veto, I mean. Based on those things, you know, a couple of positive things that took place was we've received the $305,000 force account increase to be able to use that money from discontinued runway, which was very helpful in this year's budget. That reduced that capital outlay by $241,000 and increased, basically increased the revenues out there by $64,000. We cut an additional $70,000 from operations. And the school appropriation requirement for us will decrease by $122,712. When you put that all back into that package and nothing has changed since that meeting, that's where this final mill rate calculation comes from on this worksheet in your package.
So the only question I have on the Xperia adjustment, if that comes up more than 25 million, if that comes around 26, 27, 30 million, whatever that final number is, that extra money, I would think we'd want to use that to offset what we'd have to write back
Yeah,
to them.
they're certainly working on that. I don't believe we have any concerns about being at that $25 million in this year's upcoming budget. I think they'll have that number finalized for what they believe this current year's budget is. So I'll have to figure out whatever that abatement amount is that will come out. But I would suggest leaving that mill rate to help pay for that
Offset
adjustment.
that. Do you see them, just one more quick question, do you see this next year at least it going up more, the valuation on it, 'cause where they've been another whole year under their belt and everything?
I believe it will, and MR Valuation has been talking with Travis about if we wanted to update that valuation, since they've already done all this legwork in the beginning of that, they'd update that valuation for us next year. They haven't come back with a price, but they said it'd be less than $10,000. They just threw a round number out there to update that appraisal for next year.
Might be worth it if it updates it, another $10 million. It'd be worth it to have, I don't know if that number holds true, but I would think it would jump up pretty quick after another
Yeah.
year in business.
Well, they're certainly doing, they're doing some production improvements right now as we speak. So that's certainly a positive versus
Right.
what's been happening the last several years at the mill.
Yep. That's all I had for questions. Any other counselors, Bill, on this? I know we've talked this over quite a bit. The council wants to thank you guys, department heads, for doing a good job, and, with that, right there with the mill, I mean, if that wasn't the situation, it'd be a little bit lower than this, I know, on the tax rate, so. Okay, no other discussion, then I will close the public hearing. The Old Town City Council consider scheduling a second reading for final approval on the proposed FY 2015-2016 municipal, county, and school budget. Council McLeod.
Resolve, the Old Town City Council hereby approves scheduling a second reading for final approval for June 30th, 2015 on the proposed FY 2015-2016 municipal, county, and school budget. The proposed budget calls for the city expenditures of $10,246,861. Penobscot County taxes of $614,680. And RSU number 34, taxes of $5,585,052, for a total city, county, and school budget of $16,446,593, with a total city revenue of $6,233,665, and an anticipated transfer from reserve accounts of $470,000, for a net property tax requirement of $9,742,900. I almost did it. $742,928.
Perfect. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Jan? Okay. Discussion. All those in favor? None opposed. 5-0. Okay, the Old Town City Council conduct a public hearing on the proposed FY 2015-2016 pollution control budget containing gross appropriations of $1,365,902, user fee revenue of $768,200, debt redemption of $460,772, and anticipated transfers from reserve accounts of $95,000 with a net appropriation from fund balance of $41,930. We'll open the public hearing. Anyone like to discuss this from the audience? Okay, if not, I'll turn it over to the council. Bill, Miles?
Yep. In looking at this year's budget, again, this is going to come through with no fee increase. Sewer Advisory Board met on this and unanimously recommended this budget this past week. The one thing that I would say on this, we haven't had a rate increase here since 2003. It's been 12 years. Wright Pierce has looked at that. They're tweaking some numbers for us right now because part of that fee structure is based on the pump stations being rebuilt over the next couple of years. And, you know, certainly we'll come back later on this fall to look at a different rate structure. And whether that could wait until next year, if that would be something that would come in later on this spring, but it's something they're going to have to really consider doing. It's pretty much run its course with not changing any fees for 12 years.
Somewhat the same subject. My understanding is there might be a leadership change across the river with somebody. So I didn't know if that might affect the conversation of not just the budget, but going forward about the wastewater and water
I know
district.
their manager resigned.
Okay. So I don't know what effect that will have on the conversations we were having about that. Because at some point I think we were going to bring that back and talk about that again, I thought.
Yeah.
Any questions for Bill? Okay. Close the public hearing. The Old Town City Council will consider scheduling a second reading for final approval on the proposed FY 2015-2016 pollution control budget. Councilor May.
Okay. Is it to fund balance? It says to or from?
It's from.
From. That's what I thought. Okay.
Good catch.
Resolve, the Old Town City Council hereby approves scheduling a second reading for final approval for June 30, 2015 on the proposed FY 2015-2016 pollution control budget containing gross appropriations of $1,365,902, user fee revenue of $768,200, debt redemption of $460,772, and anticipated transfers from reserve accounts of $95,000 with a net appropriation from fund balance of $41,930.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Linda. Discussion? All those in favor? None opposed. 5-0. Okay, moving on to old business. City Council consider authorizing the Finance Director to write off uncollectible receivables booked at the end of last year when the Recreation Department became a separate entity from the Recreation Department. Councilor Roach.
Resolve, the Old Town City Council hereby authorizes the Finance Director to write off uncollectible receivables from the former Recreation Department as of June 30th, 2014, in the amount of $16,468.45 as presented in Attachment 1.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and we have some discussion on this, Miles.
Okay, the list that you have, I want to make it clear that not all of these are uncollectible. I was turned over a list last year, and at first we thought the number was going to be higher. It got revised down to 16,000 and so. And since that time, a few corrections have been made. For example, there's one person on this list that they found on checking their records that the child really wasn't in attendance those days, and that amount is not owed. But I don't have the ability to write off that account. I need the council to give me authority to do that. In addition, we've had a few accounts that the rec department has been able to collect on, and they came in last fall and made some payments, and we booked that into our revenue account. We didn't realize at that time that those payments were on some of these accounts. In total, we have recreation income this year of $16,685. That recreation, a lot of that came from the Aspire program. The state was fairly slow in paying the city for people that they had attending the rec program last year. And then some of that is for a few of the individuals that are on this list. What complicates things is we've tried to contact several of these people. Some of the people we can't get in contact with. Other people we get in contact with, and I've had some arguments, well, the amount I owe isn't correct. And I don't personally have records to back that up to say it's right or not right. So I asked for Kevin to give me that information and try to verify that. So we have had some adjustments along the way. Bottom line to where we are right now is I believe we've received, and Kevin's done a good job of trying to collect from who we could collect from. And I believe we've received all we're going to receive on these accounts at this point in time. And while we've received a portion of this $16,400, it's not allocated through there. I just want to write the whole thing off, and we'll keep the revenues that are in the account of $16,685, and we'll be done with it.
There's some big numbers on here. There's 4 huge numbers on, 5 big numbers on here. So that's just my own question. That's just that they would take a program they were going to pay and just never paid.
Well,
I'm assuming it's more than one program by some of these amounts.
right, and you know, I can't really get into the philosophy of how Kevin operated. I know in some discussions I had with him, he tried not to turn kids away, and so are you seeing some of that reflected here?
I still don't understand why we have to have the full amount written off. If there are people on this list who have paid,
Yes. For example, Livingston, 1,157. The problem is like, you know, I got a deposit of 1,300 from them. Well, what was really the amount that was owed? Was it 1,157.50, or the 1,300 that they paid me?
You don't know.
Well, paid Kevin, I should say, which he turned over to us. And so that's what makes it difficult for me to go back and reconcile this. I don't mean to be critical, but those are the records I have.
So this is from 2 years ago.
Didn't recreation get done a year ago?
it was
A year ago. Yeah, but I mean, this isn't current. This is from year before.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
This is
Mhm.
this is
Ending
what
the
was
year
due
ago.
This
to
isn't
him.
this year.
Right.
It's,
This
yeah.
is ending a year ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So my only question, and I think I'm asking the same question.
Loring was the one that you know, they went back and checked the records, and that's cleared. So that they don't owe this amount, but I booked it, and I just can't write it off. I have to have authority
Yeah,
to write it off.
and it's hard for us, and, you know, who wants to have their name on this list?
Right, and
right. Yeah.
that's why I want to say these aren't all uncollectible.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how many of them Kevin may have allowed the student to stay that maybe.
It's probably daycare, after-school care, and they came, and what are you going to do when they get there?
Right.
You can't send them home.
So.
Well, my only question, I think, is what Linda's saying is, let's just say you have, which I don't think you do, but let's just say you have $2,100. Let's just say, can you just minus that from the 16,468, and then that would give us a more accurate number?
Yep, I can go back and work those numbers. We have.
I mean,
we
that's
have
what
the
you're
number,
asking,
the
right?
That's exact. I'm looking for accurate numbers.
Just whether or not the person, like you said,
Well,
1,300.
Again, what do you want me to do with the person that paid 1,300 and they only owed
It's
$1,100?
$1,300 revenue
Yeah.
coming in. So I would say I think if you just take the total number that you have and just deduct it from that number, then that would at least, whether it's, you know, matches up with the person or not, at least that would give a more accurate number. I think that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge amount of money for a small, it was city-run at that time. That's a large portion of money, 16 grand.
Well, and you got to remember the way it was presented to the council. We collected all the money that we said we were going to collect last year for recreation revenue. And then at the very end of the year, they came in and said, oh, we have some found money. We have some receivables that sitting at the end of the year that are above and beyond what we said we were going to collect. And so it was kind of like found money last year.
Oh, I see.
I'm not sure how much was actually found, but
Keep looking.
So
Kind of-
bottom line to this is we have some money that we've collected. I don't argue any of that. I could offset it against here. A few of these accounts will go away, most of them won't. But I'd like all of them to go away. And I don't feel that these are collectible at this point. And I'm just asking for your authorization to get rid of the list. And
I guess I'd like a revised list to get the people off who paid, just because I don't think their names should be on a list like that if they're paid. I would be upset if, you know.
I agree. I guess Brooke and Josh Loring, they don't know that amount. I can't take them off the list.
Without.
Only you can.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you can't have this ready for tomorrow night.
Yes, I can.
All right,
I'll
if
try-
if
I'll-
not, we can just table it to the next meeting, next Monday.
Monday.
We can table it till next Monday night, gives you a little bit more time. Want to do that?
Let's do it. Let's do it tomorrow night.
Okay. So if we can just get a motion to table this item until tomorrow night, which is the June 30th.
Yes, let's
Linda?
do that.
Linda gave the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Carol, second. Discussion? All those in favor? None opposed. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
We move on to the next item. City Council consider authorizing the Finance Director to write off uncollectible receivables relating to airport operations. Several attempts have been made to collect on these accounts without success. Councilor Klitsch.
Resolve the City of Old Town Council hereby authorizes the Finance Director to write off uncollectible receivables relating to airport operations in the amount of $3,361.72 as presented in Attachment 2.
Is there a second? Okay, EJ, discussion. So, Miles, are these ones pretty accurate?
Yeah, these are very accurate. They're all very old. Some of these aerial photo service, the owner of that actually died a few years ago. We've been unable to collect it. I don't think we're going to be able to collect it, and it's not worth the legal cost to go after it. Larry Lapointe, that goes all the way back to 2009. We've had several attempts to try to collect that, and again, I don't think without legal action we'll be able to do anything on that.
Are these people still using the airport?
No,
Oh, good.
Nobody is.
no.
No? Okay. I see Lance saying no. Okay.
The other ones are smaller amounts, but still, they're just no longer around, not using the airport, and we've carried a lot of those since 2010, 2011. I think it's time to get rid of them.
Yep. Any questions on this one? Okay. All those in favor? None opposed. Excuse me. Moving on to the last item. City Council consider accepting after deadline redemption on foreclosed property for Christopher and Patricia Gauthier, located at 60 Leonard Lane, for payment of 2013 to present real estate taxes in the total amount of $3,707.02. Councilor May.
Resolve the Old Town City Council hereby accepts an after-deadline redemption on foreclosed property for Christopher and Patricia Gauthier, located at 60 Leonard Lane, for payment of 2013 to present real estate taxes in the amount of $3,707.02, which includes interest, lien costs, and late redemption fee, and further authorize the city manager to execute a municipal quitclaim deed.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Jan, discussion? Good. Okay, all those in favor? None opposed? Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
So move.
Jan, is there a second?
I'll second.
Linda, discussion? All those in favor? None opposed?